last night. I don't think you can call the Thunder a dynasty until they at the very least get out of these Western Conference Finals. This is the NBA Finals. The winner of this series will be crowned champions. I don't think we can all the way shut the door on the Minnesota Timberwolves, though, C-Cat. It's not time for that yet. It's close.
So if
3-1 is a damn near insurmountable lead to get back on against a team like that. I wouldn't shut the door.
Who has the second best chance to win the NBA Finals right now?
The T-Wolves.
That's insane.
It's true. The Timberwolves the Pacers aren't beating that OKC team. The Thunder do what the Pacers do, but with better talent. The Thunder, and again, the offense is a lot different because they will just play through Shai on a lot more possessions than the Pacers would end up playing through Halliburton. But the switchability of the Thunder, they have bigger, faster, more athletic guys at each of the positions that the Thunder thrive at. Like, imagine Pascal Siakam trying some of the things that he gets away with against the Knicks, against Lou Dort. You know what I'm saying? Like, against Jalen Williams. A lot more girth to deal with right there, and also so many more guys that you can call to from the bench that you can go to if you're Coach Dagnall that can just say, all right, sir. I mean, Isaiah Joe, get out there and hustle and compete at the highest level. It feels like the Thunder, with how deep they are, how athletic they are, how strong they are defensively, nobody in the East strikes any bit of fear into their hearts. The Timberwolves do have just enough dogs if their shots are falling, CK. And that's going to be the key. I mean, again, I sound ridiculous. But they showed us last night and in Game 3, they have the formula to be able to beat the Thunder. The problem is the Thunder are demonstratively the best defensive team I feel like I've seen in the past 10 or 15 years. They just are so hard to find a weakness, a crack in that team. Like, their worst defender might be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's a good defender and an MVP.
I think you're underrating how hard it is to come back from behind 3-1 in the series.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, C-Cat. What would have to happen for one of those Eastern Conference teams to win a championship, though?
Take care of home court and then steal a game when they shouldn't.
They won't. They just won't. You're not going to find an advantage.
When have we found the Indiana Pacers steal road games when they shouldn't? In both upset series wins they might have.
Here's the issue. The Pacers, who are really good at hunting mismatches, really good at moving the ball around and finding a window to attack. There are no windows against the Thunder. There's no Brunson or Cat to say, okay, well, they need to. You know how the whole argument now is we got Pacers-Knicks tonight. The whole argument around that series is, do they need to find a way to maybe play Brunson and Cat at different times and split their playing time, a little on, a little off, like play your offense through. You can't even – that won't even matter against the damn Thunder. And then for the Pacers, number one, we got to see what's up with Buddy's ankle. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's not – like, they might even get past the Knicks if Nembhard's not able to stay there and be as athletically inclined as he is to move laterally and guard Brunson, because Brunson can wear on you as well. I have zero faith that any of these teams out of the East can win the finals. I have all of the faith in the Thunder. I do think that the door is not shut on the T-Wolves. Just play with me right here on this right quick. I'll give you the last two elimination games we saw from this Timberwolves team. Now, the last one we actually saw was actually a little bit embarrassing. Game 5, Western Conference Finals. That's what's next for Thunder T-Wolves, right? T-Wolves down 3-1. We saw this before because last year they were down 3-1. They had Game 5 actually at home against the Dallas Mavericks. 124-103. It was clear that Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves had ran out of gas. Karl Anthony Towns was decent, but it was a little too late. He had a horrible series against the Mavericks. That was the game that Luka had 20 points in the first quarter. The Mavericks led by 29 at the half, as many as 36 points in the third quarter, and that game was pretty much over before it started. I'm curious. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Brandon, in the chat. I said Nembhard. It was Nesmith. It's Aaron Nesmith who actually has the injury that's been guarding Brunson. I'm sorry. I'm not jet lagged. I'm not blaming it on that. It's more so just because, damn it, I've been watching all these games back on YouTube. I've been watching them. I haven't been able to watch them live. I've been watching them back on YouTube. So, yes, it's Nesmith that is dealing with the injury. We'll give you an update later on the show. If he is going to be playing tonight, he will be hobbled even if he does play. Back to the game, though. So that Game 5 against the Mavericks, It was over before it started. The Timberwolves seemed like they were ready for vacation, and Anthony Edwards himself, on one of his YouTube shorts and things that he put out, he's been putting out a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff this year. He admitted he had ran out of gas before that series even started. After they finished that Game 7 against Denver and started against the Mavericks, he had nothing left in the tank, and it showed. The elimination game before that, when the T-Wolves were up against the ropes, though, was a Game 6 against the Denver Nuggets. And that one was also at home. And that was the one where the T-Wolves won 115-70, was the largest deficit that a team had faced in the playoffs since 2015. The Heat just beat that, by the way, but on the wrong side of that. But that Game 6, where everybody had written off the T-Wolves because they felt like the Nuggets had finally gotten ahead. They were up 3-2 in the series. Everybody thought Minnesota was out of it because of the way in which they lost Game 5. Minnesota, with their back against the wall, is a totally different team when they're that locked in, that focused, and they know it's either my way or the highway, as long as they have the energy, as long as they have the legs. People are looking at Anthony Edwards' box score, his stat line from last night, and they're assuming that he's run out of gas. They're assuming he's exhausted. I will admit it seems like Ant is frustrated. I think he has enough to walk into Oklahoma City in Game 5 and to lead Minnesota to a win. It might not look how we want it to look. The Thunder are doing everything in their own right to shut him off from having the ball, from driving the rock. They're closing out on him tight. Their whole defense is focused on stopping Ant. Ant-Man did not have a bad offensive game. Don't let the box score tell you or lead you away from the truth. He actually had a really, really, really good offensive game. I think he could have been better with the hustle stats. I think he could have been better defensively. He could have been better with picking up loose balls. There were a few times I saw a rebound, a ball just land on the ground, and he was looking at it hoping somebody else would grab it. If you ain't going to be scoring, you need to be doing all the other little things to help your team win. And I think when they hit the film room, he will realize that, and he's going to come out swinging hard in Game 5. The real question is, when you have a game, if you're the if you're the Timberwolves, and you have a game in which you get 22 points from Jaden McDaniels, 9 for 15 from the floor, 3 for 6 from deep, you get 21 points off the bench from Dante DiVincenzo, 5 for 8 from behind the arc. The dude was standing wide open. He could have wiped his tail, tied his shoes, and then shot some of those three-pointers in the corner that he had. They were layups for Dante DiVincenzo, who was great off the bench. When your role players step up like that and knock down shots, you have to find a way to win those games. But the reason why the role players were able to elevate their game in that way was because of Anthony Edwards and because of the defensive attention that the Thunder were showing him. He had a bad offensive output when it came to scoring, but the guys around him stepped up. They're going to have to do that on the road to extend this series. I do think the Timberwolves can go in and win Game 5 in Oklahoma City. I think if they bring it back to Minnesota, they can also win Game 6. It'll be a close one. It's not going to be easy. They're not steamrolling them like they did in Game 3. What I don't believe is that they have enough in the tank to go 7 games with a team that deep, that fouls and is that chippy that often, and also that can get hot in a flash. They got a lot of great shot makers. They got a lot of great defenders, and they got 10 dudes who could start on many other teams in the league. It's going to be an uphill climb, but the Timberwolves have what it takes to be able to beat the Thunder. One game at a time. We'll see. Do you take away something different than that, CK?
I think that we need to begin absorbing what's on TV every other night that the Indiana Pacers are doing.
Oh, my gosh.
And that is creating magic, winning when they shouldn't.
I'm out on that.
And if anything says David and Goliath, like Pacers versus Thunder in a possible NBA Finals, if both those teams do take care of business, the favorites in their respective series, I think it's this time. I think that we have seen bigger upsets. We have seen more teams that are more overmatched. And I think the Pacers can definitely get it done more so. Much better chance than the Timberwolves.
You just bring up David and Goliath. I am one who just literally got back from seeing Michelangelo's work.
Yeah.
I was just kicking it with the statue of David. Yeah.
That's the David and David versus Goliath?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I just got back from Florence.
I mean, all right.
I was kicking it with the brother.
There's a lot of Johns out there. There's a lot of Tims.
David.
They could share names.
Yes, that's David. I'm sorry.
I don't think you're right. I really don't think you're right. I think there's multiple Davids out there.
I know there's multiple Davids, but I'm telling you I'm right as a guy that just was at the museum,
Seeing
the academia.
Seeing the statue does not qualify you to be an expert in the
think it
field.
does.
You cannot testify as an expert on the situation.
Here's the issue in America